Hello, welcome to Effortless Being, where it takes no effort just to be. I have a guest with me, Sid Friedman. How you doing, Sid?
Wow. Hey, Rob. What a treat.
Treat for me too. And I really think my audience is going to enjoy you and your perspectives. I had well, why don't you tell the audience how this all came about, how you know me?
Okay. So, like maybe 9 days ago, I saw an amazing interview on Awareness Explorers. And I watch all of these, and they were interviewing our friend Rob, and I had never met him before. I was like, who is this guy? Wow, we both use the word effortless. Wow, what you're doing. It's just I I was touched by the originality, by the authenticity, by the kindness and care of Rob, and I just sent him an email and said, "Hey, can we be friends? Can we get on Zoom together sometime and hang out?" And then to my surprise, he said, "Hey, why don't I have you on my show?" And here we
Yeah,
are.
this is great. It's just all effortless, like the channel, Effortless Being. Yeah, I mean, Awareness Explorers. He had Brian O'Connor. He had read my book, Awakening to Effortless Being. I don't know if he read it or listened to an audiobook. But then he contacted me and was like, "Hey, I'd like to interview you for the show Awareness Explorers." I didn't know anything about it, but David Farmer was on that show. And he had gave me a heads up, hey, they may be contacting you because I had said something to them. So then we had all got together, we had that interview, and people have been contacting me from that interview. It's been great.
Well, I understand why. I mean, you did this meditation at the end, and you're talking about, well, we're wholeness. That's what we are, and like people like to hear that, Rob.
And it's funny because it was all just like there was no preparation. I just kind of just got on the call and just just said how it is, like what I see here, and even the meditation, like you do, yeah, I'll do meditation. It was like no rehearsal. It's just like spontaneous. It's just like what's coming through. That's why I like to say like the character Rob, you know, he's in this space of infinite beingness because all of us right now are remaining as the pristine infinite being, and because it takes no effort just to be. It's just like effortless being. And then what I had said on the interview, I was talking about how, when David Bingham had talked about, you're the infinite being having a human experience. That's when I saw through that separate self, that wasn't me. And so it was just that experience. And so then that we got into that whole discussion. And then you had contacted me, um, and said some things about the interview that resonated with you. So what things in the interview resonated with you?
Love, I love the simplicity of how you are with people, of how you speak of your mirror work, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just being what has opened in you, what has been realized, and that by meeting people there, it just helps celebrate your enjoyment of who they are. It celebrates that and evokes it from them. And that's what I was hearing as you were hanging out with Brian and Jonathan and speaking from here about effortless being. It was just the the celebration of it was there was such joy in that.
Yes. There is a lot of joy in that and what our true nature. I feel that joy and it just kind of just comes through effortless. There's so much to be joyful about. But my audience, they would like to know about you. So maybe you can just give a little background about Sid.
Well, Sid also loves that word effortless.
Mm.
Um, and this all just happened by accident for me. This love of this, And I'll do like a 2 minute.
Sure.
Who's this Sid guy?
Who is this Sid character?
Like, I was this passionate mediator, conflict resolution, peacemaking thing was my thing, and I just got out of law school. And I saw a video of this woman working as a mediator, this woman, Byron Katie. And I was just like, whoa, that's the best mediation I've ever seen. And so I found her and it's like, I got to learn what you're doing. And she said, hey, come live with me and I'll teach you this. And I was just a regular
Live with
conventional
her. That's
guy.
crazy. Wow.
It was
Okay.
amazing. This was early in her shift, right?
Oh,
And she
okay.
was
Yeah.
in Barstow. And, and I went and I was just this earnest kind of lawyer, mediation attorney guy. And after a week there, something happened, and I had what you call an accidental samadhi, and it just shifted into this openness, to this love, to this sense of oneness. And ever since then, I was like, whoa, that's better than what I'd been like trying to find happiness in different ways in the world. And so it became my thing. And so I got to kind of a lifetime of I'd work 6 months as this mediator, and then I'd go and study with one of those people that we see on YouTube. And I did that for lots of years. And then I found that it would open into what you're describing, this peace, this love you're describing. But then my system would shift back. And and so that's when I went in and got studied this thing called internal family systems, because it's the idea, what, that was the bad news. It's like, what you mean I've got to like go in and like heal what's left in this system and like what really welcome everything and feel it. And so I did that, and then I created this, my mediation work kind of evolved into something they called Effortless IFS, which is just this kind of internal mediation.
Internal me, I like that. Yeah, I was interested when you said about when you were saying when you felt like you needed to heal things. Did you find when you recognized your true nature, did you see it like as the beingness being whole and complete already, or did you see it something different?
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I like the way you describe it, the whole and complete already. This that we already are,
Yes.
this love, this beauty, this, I love this word, radiant presence.
Mm.
And so that would open, right? And it was just like, oh my gosh. And then all I would see was that. All I would see is like when you're with puppies or children and all you see is beauty and perfection. That's all I would see. And I get glimpses of that. It's like, oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
so wonderful. And then as a mediator, it was incredible for my work, because that's all you do in mediation is you help people see the innocence.
Mm.
And then, however, it would shift back to contraction. And that's, you know, there's the story.
Yeah, it's almost like I felt like when I saw this, like it's what this is, and it's all like effortlessness, but we're still having, like we all are the infinite being, but we're still having the human experience. There's still not denying that there's a human experience going on here. And in this human experience, there's love, there's laughter, there's joy. So there's no need to really negate the human experience, once people recognize their true nature, as the infinite being. Because, even that is welcome in this, in this wholeness, this beingness, this loving, effortless being, this infinite being that these are all pointers I'm saying. So if people are listening, they can see what's being pointed to in their own experience, in their own direct experience, what this is. And all of that is welcome, even the human experience, the perfect dream, dreaming, consciousness, remembering itself, to itself. And there's oneness here. It's not really there's still like the dream of duality going on, but we can still honor, that experience. And I know you had emailed me. The reason why I'm saying all this is you had emailed me something about you were at a convention and you were with someone in the radical non-duality community. Maybe you could speak about that experience that you had.
Yeah. Well, to the contrast between, you and I have friends that speak of this as radical non-duality, and for
Yeah.
them, they're just speaking of, there's only this radiance, there's only this beauty, this everything, this life is just this, what they call the joy of life, the dance of
Mhm.
Leela. Everything is beautiful, and there's nothing but that. There's no longer a progressive path. There's only what they call the pathless path. There's only this. Dorothy, don't need to follow the yellow brick road. You already are home. And
I like that.
and it's so the art for me is just what you were describing, is to know that to whatever depth we can find it. But in my system, it's equally embracing and enjoying everything, the progressive path, the humanness of this. And so I don't subscribe to the radical non-dualist perspective. I find it very helpful, because they go a little far for me and they'll say there's no one here, there's nothing happening, and that's not helpful for me.
Mhm.
I like, and that's where I'm really, I love my work that I call Effortless IFS. And it feels very similar to what you do. It's like when you say, oh, is that a thought? And then you're aware from, in
Yeah.
this place that you're aware from that's untouched. And so for my system, it's both the celebration of how, to whatever degree, like I'm curious for each of us how we find this beingness, because I really want to make this so ordinary, because it is so ordinary, because
Yeah.
that's what I got from Byron Katie and the people that have really inspired me, the Thich Nhat Hanhs, the Marshall Rosenbergs, the Dick Schwartz. It's just, this is just ordinary, and we're
Yes.
all just like what you say,
Yeah.
we're all it's the same in all of us. Like, I love when I watched one of your mirror sessions, and you're like, and you said, I watched a lot of your mirror sessions, and you said, I see you as Muji. I see you as the perfection. I see you as that wholeness. And so the game for me is seeing that, but then celebrating right where we are. It's like, oh shit, I am nervous. I am anxious. I don't know what to do.
Okay.
I'm aging. I'm 58 now. I got all these wrinkles. Oh shit, you know. And I love the play of all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, because you think about it, the infinite being is never touched by anything happening in the human experience. But there's a lot of people that don't know that. They think that they're identified like I'm just this body, I'm just this mind, but they don't have the knowingness of what they truly are as the pristine infinite being that can't be hurt or harmed, that doesn't have a birth date, that's always been here and that is infinite and that will always be here even when the body drops. It'll still be here. So imagine like people out there like right now that a lot of them go on the seeking because they feel like they're suffering because they feel like they're just this body or they're identified with their thoughts as this limited person Rob that received all this programming ever since the age of 2, whatever, all the programming that society and has put on them has told him that what this is, this presence, this infinite beingness, this effortless beingness is broken somehow. But the truth of the matter is, none of us are broken. We're all remaining as the pristine infinite being, whole, healthy, happy, abundant. There's no problems like right here in this moment. That's what's seen here. And it's only when the identification goes with the thoughts of this separate, limited person from the conditioning, that we've been given and that we've bought into. It's almost like a case of mistaken identity. Like we're identifying with that separate character, but really it's just been this the whole time. So that's what's being seen here. What do you have? Anything come to you, me saying this to
Yes,
you? Okay.
yes. I love the character,
Yeah.
and in my work, it kind of goes the other way with this.
Mhm.
We celebrate the character, and we have the character show up, and this is where I find using this language of IFS parts helpful, because we can identify the different aspects of our character. Oh, this is the achiever. Oh, this is this that feels shame. This is the one that has a to-do list. And then by as we become aware of the character, the way the character is expressing in us, if we're aware of it, just it's the same thing you do. As if we're aware of it, what do you mean? I'm aware of it. That means I'm not it. There's something that's aware of it, this pristine,
Yeah.
infinite being.
Right. Yeah, it's true. It's like the character, like I would always say, like with the character Rob, like it's almost like I'm watching him like in a movie doing its thing, but there's compassion here for the character.
Mm,
And it's like, oh, he fell down, he scraped his knee, or like stuff like that when I'm watching him, go through his daily life. And there's just compassion, there's allowance, there's no judgment on him. The character still runs it and does its thing, but it's all happening in this infinite space of beingness, that all of us are. And so it's not really harmed by anything, but it can be fun too. Like it can be enjoyable. So that's why you could like redesign the character, to be fun. You can drop all the conditioning, that you've had all these years, and you can come into alignment, with your true nature,
mm,
which is joy, effortless, ease, peaceful, kind, spontaneous, expansive,
yeah.
So you can
But
have it like that.
what do we do? You and I, we had the privilege of getting to work with a lot of people and connect
Right.
with them. And,
Hmm.
and a lot of these folks I talk to, they're having difficulty. They're anxious. They're depressed. Life is overwhelming. Because it's just what you're pointing to, what we're
Hmm.
pointing to. It's like I was working with someone this morning,
Yeah.
and what I asked them, just like what you said, Rob falls and hurts his knee. It's like,
Um,
can we even like see that just as it's opened up so clearly in your system? Like, can we see our inner theater? Oh, there,
Yeah.
Rob's falling. He's turning his knee.
It's
He
lighthearted.
has a voice like, God, why did I do that? But
Yeah.
but all that. But to be able to, can we see that? Can we see the theater of Rob? And then, like I was describing a shortcut for friends today. Can you enjoy that? Like, if we can really enjoy the theater of Rob, like,
Yeah.
whoa, there it
It's
is.
fun. It's entertaining. But yeah, I mean, that's what I do like on the miracles. Like if you've listened to it in my channel, I have a bunch of miracles on there, and like what I'll do is just meet people where they're at because everybody's at different spots and different beliefs, and they've had different conditioning. And so then you just kind of like, I hate to say hold the space, it sounds so spiritual, but you just like being in this space with them, like kind of like we're in the space. And then you just ask them to talk, like, what's alive for you? And then they'll tell you. And then you just kind of mirroring back, like to them, what they're saying and honoring them, where they're at, having the compassion for them. And then just slowly pointing to them, just having them reflect, like, what is this that these thoughts that are coming that you're identifying with? Are they really true? Like, is that true what you're having? Like to help them to see it in their own experience, because you can tell people things, but if they don't experience it in their own experience, it's going to be short-lived and not be there. It's always direct experience is king. So by getting them to reflect, on these thoughts that they're having, they could see the thoughts and then it's like turn around and like, what's seeing the thoughts? It's like, oh, wait, there's some separation here from the thoughts. I can see the thoughts coming and the thoughts don't really personalize. I think that's what it is with radical non-duality. They kind of see through, which is true. There is no person here when you say it like that. But we don't want to, just throw out the human experience. We still want to honor it because we're still having it. So I think what the radical non-duality is saying is they're just depersonalizing it, so to speak. They're saying, well, those thoughts don't apply to the true me, the infinite being. Yeah, they do apply to the character Rob, but from the infinite being's perspective, you can see the character, and you could, once you see the character, and if you see some of those beliefs or conditioning or thoughts that are harming the character, you can look through it and see it and say, well, this isn't really serving me. And then it just kind of unravels itself, automatically. I know there's a lot of talk about welcoming the thoughts and things like that. But I think what people need to be careful of is if just by saying you're welcoming that thought, you could be personalizing it to yourself, and that could keep you in the loop of suffering or even in the loop, of continuing to seek if you're personalizing the thoughts and welcoming them and trying to process them. It all depends on, how, as long as you know yourself as the infinite being, the thoughts can be here, the character can be here, the beliefs can all be here as long as you know what you truly are and you're not personalizing those thoughts anymore. It's almost like you kind of see through it. They're not personalized.
Wow. So what you just shared, this was especially when you shared of the mirroring session, right?
Yeah.
That love, that care, that just welcoming people right where they are.
Mhm.
That's what touched me so much in your interview with Awareness Explorers. This it's just the kindness, and then because it's just speaking from the kind of awakened awareness, this pristine, imperturbable beingness. We've got you go on YouTube, there are 1,000 people speaking of this, right? It's like, how is it, how do we, that, this, but to translate it to really the kindness in meeting people and caring for them, your mirroring sessions. I mean, this is for your audience that's listening.
Yeah.
I mean, what a beautiful man you have in your friend, our friend Rob here. And this is where I was like, God, I want to be friends and colleagues with you. I love what you're doing.
All right, Sid, how much do I need to pay you for that? I like that. Yeah. You can't help but like, because think about it. Like, if you've been suffering your whole life, right? Because I've been there. So it's almost like I know what it's like to suffer. I know what it's like to identify, with the character, with your thoughts, and believing that you're broken and you're limited. I did the same thing. Like, I bought into that. I know what that suffering is like. So, like, when I'm looking at people and they're telling me, they have all these problems or they're suffering, when I'm looking at them, I see them as whole, complete, healthy, beautiful. I see them as the pristine, infinite being. You can put any spiritual leader up there. I see that there's equality. There's no different. Like when I'm looking at them, like you said, I'm looking at Muji, Rupert, Spira, whoever you want, whoever you put on a pedestal. I see them all the same, like because I'm seeing you as the infinite being. That you're already whole and complete. It's almost like consciousness is playing this game because I did too. Like this character Rob, like I believe what this was this separate Rob, and I had all these problems, and I was identifying, and there was all this suffering. So now with people, when I see that, it's just like it automatically comes through. Like I just want to just, mirror them and just point to this and say, hey, it's
Hmm.
just a case of mistaken identity. There's really, that's all that's happening here. We've just misidentified it.
The gift of what of being seen that way, of being seen as perfection, as whole, as how you would how as Muji, as Rupert, as
Yeah.
Ramana, as
Right. Oh, yeah.
Nisargadatta, as that. But that's really, it's really something. I just want to again share for your audience
Oh, okay.
the gift of that, right? Of what you're offering people. I just know from my own experience, I would travel around the planet to be with some of these folks for that very thing. Something somehow being seen that
Yes.
way instead of as a sense of lack or something missing or something needed to change. That's what helped the system open.
Yes. Because the system opens and it's not like I'm doing the healing. You're healing yourself. It's consciousness healing itself. I'm just holding up the mirror and then you're having these realizations and consciousness is just revealing it to itself. It's like, wait a second, I am whole. I am complete. I'm not those thoughts. Like you're doing nothing I'm doing. It's just all coming through consciousness doing it. So, and that's why I wrote the book, the mirror is the medicine, because I felt like a lot of the therapists and spiritual leaders and things like that were, like they were looking at people as broken and they needed to fix them. But how much that changes, like imagine like all the spiritual leaders and therapists, when they're meeting with people and just seeing them as whole and complete, abundant, healthy, not needing to be fixed, that they're already the infinite being. Imagine like holding up a mirror like that to someone and honoring them where they're at and then letting consciousness do its thing and reveal it. Imagine what that would be like. What a shift that would be in the world.
Beautiful invitation for us, right? Whenever possible, to see others that way. And then the like the super advanced thing, right, is to like look at ourselves, our little square on Zoom. Here's my little square. As like what that's the hardest one, right? To see that here as we look
Yeah.
at our
Oh,
look in the mirror. That's why we get to use you as our mirror, Rob, instead of
yeah.
having to like go through the it's when we look in the mirror, it's like, oh, what do you mean? I've got these wrinkles. I'm getting fat.
No, I see you as
Blah
the
blah blah. Right?
pristine, beautiful being that you are. I see Sid as the beautiful, pristine, infinite being who's whole and complete and full of joy and life itself. That's what I see when I see you. I
Yeah,
don't see anything.
I like your mirror. I like this mirror a lot.
It feels good. It's beautiful. It's love. It's just what is. It's what's expressing. It's what's seen here.
What a wonderful game, like to play with each other, to care for
Yeah.
each other, to love each other in that way. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. So tell me more about Sid. So were you ever suffering at one point? Is that what put you on the, oh, you were.
Mm.
Okay. Tell us. So what got you seeking, I guess? Like why did you start seeking? What happened?
Well, I didn't. Gosh, it's like I think it was very conventional suffering, right? You grow up in America. You grow
Huh.
up with this sense of we should all be Brad. I should be Brad Pitt, and we should, and then oh yeah, I need to succeed. I need to, and then all whatever the vision was of the American dream, and then the sense of lack, and the sense of like there was a very live inner critic in here. There were lots of shoulds, and it was painful. It was almost like it felt like I was carrying a backpack of weight here. Like said, you should do this, you should do that, you should have been this, you made a mistake, and you could feel the weight of it. But it felt very conventional. Like I didn't know, Rob. I don't think I knew the weight that I was carrying. The
The conditioning, you mean, or
yeah, I don't think I could really feel it because
yeah.
it felt so normal until I had that glimpse, right? For
Yeah.
literally a week, all the weight disappeared with that experience from Byron when I was with Byron Katie. It
Mm.
all disappeared, and there was just a lightness and love. And then when it started to come back, it was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, oh, I'm carrying like 100-pound backpack with me. And then it was like, okay, we gotta let's take things out of that backpack, and that became the search and the progressive path and all the work and many years. I mean, this happened in my 20s, and I'm not in my 20s anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because when I do a lot of mirror sessions and coaching with people or whatever you want to call whatever this is, a lot of them say like I lost it. Like they'll have like a spiritual experience and then they'll say they lost it. That's why I tell everybody it's not really it's not an experience, a spiritual experience because what happens is people are always trying to get back to that same spiritual experience that they had. Really, what self-realization is just a clear seeing, of what's happening in reality, like what's really happening here, and just seeing through that separate character, that you can see through it, kind of thing. That's kind
I
of like self. That's the way that's what's seen here. It's not really
I
an
mhm.
experience, like because people will keep thinking I lose it when they think that way. You know what I'm saying?
I loved your metaphor that you shared of the sky and the weather.
Mhm.
And I love that. The idea, just what you said, it's always here. It's the sky,
Yeah,
this pristine, imperturbable being, this the sky, and that it just gets obscured by the passing weather.
yeah. By the passing away, because people like the sky is not going to reach down and grab the weather or grab the clouds and say, "You apply to me." It's just sitting here, and the weather's just flowing through, and you're like this open window, this open space of beingness that's whole and complete, and the weather is just passing through, and you're just lovingly allowing it all, loving everything in your space, being with it. It's fine. It's not a problem because it's not personal to anything. It's just flowing through. So once you see through that. So I like that how you brought that up because I think a lot of people what they feel like is that they have to get back to that same like blissed out state. Because I remember after I had seen this, I was like, wow, like it was almost like you said, like a weight lifted off. I was sitting in my backyard and it just felt like I just wanted to be in nature and just be in bliss, just like I already felt whole and complete. I didn't need anything to do anything. But then my wife's like, okay, well, it's time to go to work. So it's like well, you're still living in the real world, so you still got to function. And then people talk about integration. So how did that play out for you? So after you had realized it, your true nature with Byron Katie, and then you then it came back, like you said, and then you just felt like you had this backpack on. Then you were trying to unpack all of that. So how did that integration go for you?
Mm. Well, at first, it was a sense of either or. It was
Mm.
like, oh, I'm in the weight of the backpack. I'm in the personality, or I can step back and get out of it. So I did. So I would travel and be with people like you, right? I would go to these retreats, and my friends I even would do stand up about this because I would go and be with all of the popular non-dual
Oh, really?
speakers of the day, and
That's
then
cool.
they would all have me like sit in the chair and like
Really?
do different voices of the different ones because became friends with all of these folks. I would host them in my house, and
Really?
then they would come
I
through
didn't
and
know
be
any
in
of
my
this about
house,
you.
and,
That's pretty
so
cool.
it was really fun, right?
Yeah.
And but then so there was a sense of either or, but then
Oh,
something changed. It would go back and forth, and then there was a sense of where it changed was there became a curiosity about the personality, the flavors of the personality, just like you. Oh, Rob hurt his leg, and then it became more of a sense of first it was using that word welcoming. But it wasn't an active welcoming. It was just that word effortless. There was just
oh,
an
okay.
effortlessness in kind of welcoming the theater of Sid, the way it
Yeah.
would play. And then what was cool, it was like the welcoming would start to open further to like a sense of fascination, curiosity, but
I
not a
like that.
curiosity in time of beingness. And then the sense of enjoyment. Wow, just like what you say, the enjoying of Rob, the enjoying of the expressions of and that's kind of how it plays now.
I love that. I love that. So tell us, since you sat with a lot of these people, any interesting ones stand out to you? Can you give us an
Oh,
impression or something?
I don't know if I can.
Give me a good impression of one of them.
See if that's here anymore. Oh my gosh. Mm, It's like oh sweetheart, oh sweetheart. It's just innocent confusion, sweetheart. That's Byron Katie. Just
Oh,
the love that Katie is.
it's beautiful.
It's just the loving what is, the beauty of what you are. Oh, sweetheart, you're just innocently confused. And Katie was, and then because that was all love, right? And then the
Right.
contrast, and I love the different flavors because I spent a lot of time with Rupert Spira, and
Hmm.
his was more. It was more masculine. It was more clarity, more mind, and it was
Yeah.
more kind of like inquiries that you do. It's like, well, who's aware? Are you aware? He'll ask, are you aware? And
Mhm. Brings you right back, right? Yeah.
right back.
Yeah.
And it has a similar love, but the love isn't expressed, right? It's this masculine. And it was fascinating, the whole spectrum. And there was a woman named Pamela Wilson, who's probably the most feminine of the ones I found. And Gangaji, for example. These are just
Yeah.
very feminine expressions of this. And it would just be like you're just being embraced and held by them.
That's
And then
beautiful.
you'd have more of the Nisargadatta, more of
Yeah.
the straight Advaita,
Yeah.
who's like
Direct path, right?
Zen, the direct path of that.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful watching the whole spectrum and how it served us. Like who helped you the most in this? What were the flavors that worked for you?
Well, I really liked, well, Rhonda Byrne was good because she had come out with The Greatest Secret. And I really resonated with The Greatest Secret, but she had all those on. They had Muji, like I like Muji. Rupert Spira was good, like all those different ones that were on there. Francis Lucille, and then of course David Bingham really resonated with me probably the most out of all of them. Just his way of presenting and doing it.
Let's meet in Muji for a minute. Let's meet in Muji love. I mean
Yeah.
Muji.
That's great. When I first saw him on the YouTube video, I was like, "Whoa, what's this guy with the long hair?" I was like, "I want to eat a." He goes, "I want to eat a person today."
It's like Rob Baba, Rob
Come
Baba.
sit at my feet.
Oh, 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 I love you, I love you, I love you.
Yes, that's exactly.
Oh.
That's a great impression. Yeah, so you can feel the love coming from him. Love it. Yeah. It's funny, yeah, all the different flavors are beautiful, and it's great. They're all welcome in this space in infinite consciousness and infinite being. Because everybody resonates different. That's why we say whatever you resonate with, follow that. Follow your intuition, that inner knowing, that expansive feeling that you feel in your body, like to follow that. And their people's intuition has been leading them the whole way. They might lead you to that teacher, or they might lead you to that book or that one saying. Just follow your inner intuition. It'll lead you wherever you need to go.
I love that your spectrum include Muji and
Yeah.
then the nuclear scientist Francis Lucille,
Yeah, I like
right? Who's
Francis.
like, I mean, what a spectrum.
Yeah.
And then you got me again. I was on an airplane a couple of days, and after listening to you, and I listened to Rhonda's The Greatest Secret. I hadn't listened to
Isn't
that,
that
and
good? It's great. Great
wow.
introduction to non-duality. Yeah. And the
And
way
just
she
what
did
you
it was very good. Like all the background and everything. Like it was really captivating.
I just want to say, like, if you have people listening to this who like these names you and I are sharing,
Yeah.
it's like if they don't know these folks, this video, this audio that you recommended, Rhonda's Greatest Secret, because she's
The
got
greatest
like
secret. Yeah.
maybe 8 of them, and she has
All
their
on there.
voices on there, and you
Yeah.
get to get a feel for their
Yep.
you get a feel for them.
Yep. Even Eckhart Tolle's on there too. Like a lot of people know who that is. So they're all on that audiobook, The Greatest Secret. And it's beautiful how she laid it out. I thought it was, to me, that's really where, woke me up kind of, because then I heard David Bingham and, from there.
You know what I think is really fun for us is we get to it's also part you listen to them and each of them it's like their personality comes through and it comes
Yeah.
through like between Muji and Francis it's 1,000 miles difference
Yeah.
between them and but you and I get to play like for me this is art and it's the
It
art
is
of
art. Yeah.
how we get to express this like I was really enjoying listening to your videos and watching like the art of Rob like how this is expressing because you're a translator as they all are you're a translator of this pristine imperturbable being that's like translating it and it gets to translate through Rob's system.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's a great feeling. Yeah. We get to play. I love the play part of it. It's fun. It's light. It's
No,
enjoyable. Yeah. I definitely resonate with that.
I tell you what I've been playing with. This has been my it's like my I guess it's been I can't come up with the word my work my ambition my prime directive and this has been for the last 5 years has been I loved sports as a kid. I love sports. I can like 20 different types of balls. I can do crazy things with them. And I was never really good at any of them, but I love sports.
Nice.
And I loved how it just, as a kid, you just learned how to play. It's like, and if it wasn't, whatever we did as kids, riding a bike, but it's just like how you just learned it. It's like, whoa, I can hit this, I can put this ball in that basket and it's just swish. And it just, how did I learn how to do that? It just learned. And so my aspiration has been this thing you and I are talking about. I don't, to me, it's so ordinary. And the ambition has been to find, especially when you talk about playfulness, that's what evokes this in me. When you talk
Yeah.
about playfulness, like how can we find this piece of our intrinsic nature, this rest, this flow, this love, where we can find it and we can start abiding here just as easy as it was when we learned how to play a sport, to ride a bike, to cook, to do art, whatever it was as a child.
Yeah, I mean, you just make it like more like instantaneous. Like you just tell people, well, this is what it is. It's just right here, right now, and it's just been a case of mistaken identity. Okay, so now what's for lunch?
See, that's like the direct path thing. I love
Yeah.
that. It's just hey, it's just mistaken identity.
Thing is, like, if you make more out of it, like that's why I tell people, I always put a disclaimer, like this is ordinary, it's what it already is. And a lot of people, when they wake up, they're like, oh, it's just this presence, that this being. Oh, it's always like they're expecting fireworks and all this stuff. It's just ordinary, so that now we can talk about having fun. Like
Oh my! Like
it
I
really is
had to.
that simple. I know, but like other people that maybe don't see it, like because I can remember before when I was so identified, I didn't see it as like that. But then when you finally do see, like, it's just a case of mistake. It's just this beingness, this awakeness that you've always been. It's just you've had all this conditioning, and you've just identified with being something that you're not. Like, you know what I mean? That's all it is. I know I might irritate people when I say
Oh
that,
my!
but
It.
I don't know. Just pointing back.
Well, you don't want to like. I went the long way. I did like literally these vipassana retreats where you're just sitting in silence for 10 days. I know exactly. I did
I don't hear
hundreds
about
of
people meditating for
sessions.
years, and like I'm like, really? Like I don't know. I mean, if you like doing that, like as for fun, I guess, but for what this is, like if you really like want to know what this is, it's very ordinary. It's right here, right now. It's accessible to everyone. It's always been here. It's right here in the background. It's what you've always been.
This is right. This is the game. This is the play that you and I get to of how to communicate, how to invite that, how to play with people, and that
Yeah.
where you don't have to do the hundreds of sessions of
No,
IFS
I
therapy
could
that
save
I
you a lot of
did.
money. I could save you a lot of money on welcoming retreats and on satsangs, flying to India. I could save you a ton of money on plane tickets.
that
But I like some of these, like I like how Emerson does it too. Like what's in between, thoughts and no thoughts, and like you go right there. It's like, like people are getting more. I want to go to the guy who just like winks like this. Okay, and you're self-realized. There you go.
Rupert does this wonderful quote about this. It's like, and from the God, it's from the Gitas, I think, and it's like, this is for the person that even blinking an eye is too much effort.
Yes, I love that. Love that. Because even blinking the eye takes you away from the immediacy of this. Imagine if I just come on the Zoom like this. Oh, hi. So much,
Gosh,
right?
it um
Like the twinkle of an eye. Isn't there a scripture like that? Twinkle of the eye. Didn't Jesus say something about that? Twinkle of an eye. I don't know. Something I remember reading somewhere in one of the scripts.
this is just fun. I've made a lot of friends like you and like our interviewers, like Jonathan and Brian have become good friends of mine,
Oh, great.
and it's like, and then others, like just how I reached out to you when I get a
Yeah.
resonance like that. I've done that. I've got.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to have to invite you to one of like a party where we've got like a dozen folks who love this, and we're all doing a Zoom and doing
Yeah,
a
I'm
Zoom
down.
together, and you
Yeah.
know,
It's funny because I even like some of the people, that contact me through the channel. Like a lot of them, like I'll do things with them. Like I did a book with Julie Claudia on effortless abundance. She's more into like abundance and effortless. So I did something with her. Just different things resonate with different people. I'll go on cruise ships and do this too. Like I'll have people
No,
book.
you haven't.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go to Amsterdam right now. Like going to Amsterdam July 1st, and me and Julie, she's also, self-realized or whatever term you want to use. So what we do is I'll go on a cruise ship and I'll book like through my website, people can book sessions with me, and then I'll have mirror sessions live on the on the cruise ship with people. So I'm getting ready to do out of Amsterdam July 1st. I'll be gone most of the month in July. It goes to Estonia, Berlin, Germany, Sweden, Finland. I think it ends in Denmark. It's like a 12 day cruise, and then
Okay.
people can book it and
Let's
stuff.
do let's do this.
Yeah,
Let's get let's invite our friends who do this like we do, who do the
and do a cruise,
YouTubes,
right?
and do a cruise. And we'll invite
Yes,
anybody who wants to come and play with us on the
I'm
cruise.
in. Sign me up. All right, whoever's listening to this who wants to do the cruise, we'll all get together and we could, swap, have some fun together, tell stories, and do some mirror sessions. I don't know, whatever, mirror each other.
I I get so inspired, Rob, by by our friends. I mean, I like again, I've spent a dozen hours watching your stuff, and it's just like it's just there's it's the gifts of how it moves through each of us. It's just so I just love that.
Yeah, I love your energy too. I could tell you resonate. You like us. You're more like lighthearted, joyful. Like that's all the stuff I resonate with, and I think our true nature is that way too. It's just like lighthearted, joyful, loving. That's all. Like when I see you, that's what I see. I see, joy, like this big ball of joy and playfulness and adventure and curiosity and like where can we go with this? Like you're ready to go. I love
But
it.
isn't
I
it
could just see
it's
us on the cruise ship together, dude, having fun. Going up talking to people, like I don't know, just me that energy. Like people say like how are you? I always say better than good. Oh, good to see you,
isn't that
Rob.
but
Good
it's
to
the
see you.
nicest question. It's the nicest question, isn't it? Just how are you?
Yeah,
Like I love that one to see. And then it's just so real. Whatever's there, it's like there
yeah,
it is.
yep. Let me tell you how I really
Oh.
feel. I'm having a really bad day. No.
Oh, joke! You're telling a joke.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, tell you going to. I don't know. I just can't take it serious, man. Like I just have fun, man. That's my advice to people. Like, don't take it serious. Just have a good time with this life. Like life is a gift. Like enjoy it, Enjoy the human
Right.
experience. We're here. Human experience is here. Enjoy it. Have fun with it. That's what I say. Program the character to have fun, to be abundant, to be joyful, to be playful, spontaneous, take the juice, like juicy, it's like a juicy life, juicy.
Oh my. Yes. And and we have and we get like I co-host a group on Facebook. We've got like 4,000 people,
Oh, wow.
and so it's but so many of my friends, they show up and they're suffering, like their partner's sick,
Oh,
they're
okay.
lonely, they're we're talking about in your thing, their pet is sick or passing, and it's just
Yeah.
all of that. And it's it's like it just gets to include everything, all of that in
Everything's
this.
welcome. Yeah.
And I guess that was yeah, just I just love like it. I just love the because just what you see when someone steps in, and it's like I'm depressed, my life is miserable, I don't like this, and even if some suicidal folks show up, and
Okay.
it's just all of it because they sit in front of you, Rob, and you see their brilliance, their beauty, their perfection.
Their perfection, their wholeness, their abundance, their health, their joy, their pristineness, their love. It's all I see.
That I hmm,
They can see
I've
it
been doing
too. When
something
you mirror it
fun.
back to them, they can see it too. They're like, wait a second, I'm not this sick person. I'm not this broken person, they can see it. They can see it when you just hold it up for them. Because really, like, hold that for them. See them as that. Watch what happens. It's miraculous.
I For our cruise, I have something for our cruise because they always have a disco on the cruise,
Oh, there's
and
always
this is
discos on the cruise.
it's
Yeah.
This is what, let me tell you what I've started to do with my friends. I developed something called sometimes called the Awakening Dance Party or the IFS Dance Party. And the
I
idea
love it.
is, right? And it's like, no, you don't have to do anything. We're just having a dance party. But on the dance party, it's like I'm on the mic and I'm like facilitating a song. And it's like, okay, that depression, it gets to be met and loved and seen. And we're
I
playing with
love
all of that.
that.
And then I pass the mic to my next friend and they facilitate the dance song. And they're playing like, we are family. And can you feel the
Love it.
connectedness and love? And so anyway, you have to give me your favorite songs that you can DJ
We
when we're
are
throwing the party.
family. Take all your brothers, sisters, and me. We are family.
But really, the
I know.
unity
I
there,
heard
brothers,
I
sisters.
heard your meditation on Awareness Explorers. I was like, this is awesome. Like this guy reminds me of myself. Started playing the music on the meditation. I was like, this is awesome.
Isn't it just the lightness, like how we
Yeah.
bring our lightness into this, right? It's well, what do you mean? It can be a party. It can be a
Yeah.
celebration of what we are and who we are and all of it.
Celebrate who we are. Well, yeah, of course. There's a lot to celebrate. There's a lot to have fun with.
What's next for you? What are your edges with this? What's exciting in the expression? Like you're going on the cruise
The
and you're
cruise,
doing
like
mirror
yeah, like
sessions
I
there.
was, yeah, cruise. I think David said that. He goes, "Oh, so you're cruising and realizing? Is that going to be the name of your your thing? Cruising and realizing?" I can just see myself just keep going on these. Like this is like oh, my third cruise doing this. Like I could just see myself just continuing to just hop around the cruise ships. Let's meet. We'll do our mirror sessions. You could talk self-realization, whatever you want to talk. Like do that with people. I just love being, in front of people and just having like doing those mirror sessions is really what does it for me. And traveling, I love traveling, meeting different cultures, different people. I like doing this too, like interviews. Like just I don't know what's going to pop up on my screen. I like being spontaneous with people, like just coming up on the screen, like and just meet you wherever you're at. I love just meeting people where they're at, and then from there, seeing where this takes us, and then always pointing them back to what they truly are: the love, the joy, the peace, the happiness, the playfulness. Just taking them right back there every time I meet with them. So that's what gets me fired up. Just like that juice of life, that adventure, that that meeting the people where they're at, and then just seeing through it, and then watching it all just melt like in front of you, and just seeing the beautiful, like having them see the beautiful being that they are.
Having them see the beautiful being that they are.
Yes.
Yeah. And we get to have fun doing this. We get to have fun
Absolutely.
with it.
It's a party, like you said. It's a love party.
It's nice, isn't it? It's like that this gets to be our work, is just is that.
I gotta tell you a funny story. So when I first realized this is coming up, I don't know why, but I'll tell it anyway. So when I first learned my true nature, like I had this job, like I was doing like a delivery driver, and they had cameras in the truck, right? And so my boss was watching the video. So I got back. He's like him and another manager like called me into his office. They're like, Rob, we have to talk to you. I was like, well, what's going on? Like, we have a camera. We see you in your truck and you're like dancing and like, like singing along and, like, la, la. They're like, you have to be on drugs. We're sending you for a drug test. That's what he said. So they said,
Like,
so the guys in the office, they're all like betting. They're thinking like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win $100 on this for sure. It's coming back positive. They're all like, betting and stuff. So then, of course, they send me. It's negative. So the boss is like, he's like, I don't get it. How can you just be like happy, like just delivering this stuff? You're walking around, we're watching you like all day long. You have the songs on and you're singing and you're dancing and you're just. I go, I don't know. I feel happy for no reason. There's really no reason to be. I just feel happy. And they're like, man, I lost like $100 on that. I thought for sure it was gonna come back positive. It was funny, but
I
I don't know.
love
Like
it.
it was. I tell that story because it's like. I don't know, like, because when I tell people, like friends and family, they're like, yeah, like, wow, like, they actually sent you for that. That's for that. I guess I don't. You don't. Sometimes you don't see yourself. I don't see myself. I'm thinking. I'm just like, oh, like this is like, isn't everybody like this? Like, you know. They're looking at it like puzzled. Like, I don't understand. Like, how can you just be like, joyful like that, driving around in a truck and delivering stuff? Like, how can you be so happy with ordinary, like they do? Because I guess the rest of the employees, like they're they're negative, or they're down on their lives, or maybe they don't feel the same joy. Like I don't know, but I guess seeing somebody happy for no reason, they question it. What's going on here?
Happy for no reason?
Yeah, no reason. There's no real reason to, like, it's just, well, I don't know, maybe there is a reason. I just don't know what it is. But I don't know, maybe because I don't identify with the character anymore. Like I don't see myself as limited, and like I don't see myself through the conditioning that people see. Like you said, like, I see everyone the same. I see everybody as loving, joyful, whole, complete, happy, dancing, playing baseball with their friends, throwing the football around, playing a little hockey, like you said, sports, baseball. Yeah. I'm actually taking my brother to, he's a big Mets fan. We're going to the Mets Phillies game, but he didn't want to wear his Mets stuff because the Phillies fans, they get a little crazy when you wear, like, you're listening from Philly, it'd be nice. That's funny.
I am I'm trying something new this week in the workshops that I'm giving. It's gonna be it's gonna be to see if we can taste and glimpse the bliss of our nature, the bliss that's here.
Oh, I love that. There's a lot of bliss here. There's a lot of bliss going on with this energy here.
Because they say it, right? The ancients, they've always say it in the literature, like Satchitananda, bliss is our very nature. It's like,
Yeah.
how do we find that? Just like when you describe this causeless happiness that they're like, he's on drugs. It's like,
Yeah.
how do we find bliss? Can we find bliss here? And just like, you're like, hey, Sid, it's here.
It's right here. Yeah. And you see it too. I can tell. I can feel your energy. Sorry, so where were we in the story? I don't even know. Like, okay, so you did the integration, and then you got into, like you said, the IFS family systems. So maybe tell the audience more about that work that you do, I guess, and how you integrate awakening or self-realization into that program, and what is it that you're after? Like, what are you trying to, like, what's your mission? Like, are you on a mission? Like, what are you doing?
All right. So I call it effortless. See, we got effort. I call it effortless IFS.
I love
Effortless
effortless. Yeah.
being,
Yeah.
effortless IFS. And I've made it really simple. For me, it's like keeping it really simple. And
Yeah.
I just have like call it like there are three views. There are three views, and this is all of effortless IFS. And the first view is called riding the bike of being. And this is our Advaita. This is the sense of the discernment. The and this is like as a bike, like as we learned how to find balance, can we find balance as peace? Can we find the stillness here? And then can we like balance there? And then we start to notice it gets more subtle. So we start to notice, wait a minute, something's wrong, I'm falling, I'm thinking about, I'm doing something, and then correct it. And so it's finding our balance, finding as this beingness, as this causeless okayness. And this is the first view, and this is a sense of an either or, right? It's the weather or the sky. And for this one, there's a loving indifference towards the sky. There's a loving indifference towards everything that arises because we're only interested in the beingness. And that's our first view. And
Mm.
then once there's a sense of being able to rest some here, then we go to the second view, which is it's the Rumi's guest house.
The movie gets that.
You know that one?
Yeah.
Or
Go
it's
ahead.
like
Yeah. Go ahead.
and we call it the Rumi's guest house with this infinite hot tub. And this idea of the Rumi's guest house is this idea that there's just we have all these guests, all these aspects of our personality come, and there's a sense of can we welcome them all? Can
Hmm.
everything be welcomed? But there's no one who welcomes. The welcoming is the beingness. So this is the second view, and this is where a lot of the progressive path healing occurs
Hmm.
because there's a sense of everything is just effortlessly welcomed.
Yep.
And then it's also kind of cool here in the second view is a sense of we can even hear what's being longed for. The sense of, oh gosh, I need to understand what Rob's saying, what he's sharing. It's like what's being longed for when we have that aspect of us that's kind of this achiever, this understanding part. Oh,
Mhm.
it's longing for the sense of resolution, the sense of okayness, the sense of peace. And then we might ask, what's most like that peace, that fulfillment that's here now? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute, here it is.
Yeah.
And so we do that. And then we just go, and then there's the third view. And the third view is kind of what we hear from those radical non-dualists, and what you speak of is this imperturbable perfection that we are. And the third view, I call it the Rumi's field, or the sense of just loving what is, the joy of life. Everything is it. So we recognize also that there is no separation between what arises in the field that it's arising in. It's all this joy, this happiness, and
Yes.
that's effortless IFS. It's a dance amongst the three of those, and however it's showing up in each of our systems.
I like that one.
Woohoo!
That's great. I love what you got going on. Yeah. I'm definitely feel that energy. Let me know how I can support you as well.
Well, you know what? You know, you and I are gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to do something together sometime. We're gonna have to do
That'd
it
be fun.
a Zoom or something together. You know, it'll
Yeah.
just be fun.
I would love to do a Zoom with you. That'd be awesome. And then we could think about the cruise ship.
I mean, I'm going to put this video on. I'm going to put it a couple places. This video when you come out with it, because I want to introduce my friends to you. And this, it's called the Facebook group is the IFS Non-Dual Community. I'm going to put
Okay.
it there to introduce you to my friends. And I'm
Sure.
also I have fun on. It's a site that just kind of non-dual. It's called Nonduality. It's like 17,000 people or something, and like there are a lot of my friends there. And I want to introduce you there as well. And then I lead lots of groups, and the groups are just this, and so I'll let my friends know about Rob.
So Sid, tell me, how do you become so popular and have all these friends? I have to know. Like you seem like you got a lot of friends. I think I know the answer before I say it, but maybe you could say it. What do you think? Like everybody's
Um,
so drawn to you. What is it that? What do you think
I
it
think
is?
it's
Like,
I think it's the opposite. I think it's the opposite. I think I'm
yeah,
drawn to them. It's like just say just the it's you. It's like you, like these, Jonathan and Brian from
yeah,
that interview. I adore those guys,
yeah.
and it's like there's just such an enjoyment of people, and then I just invite them to the party. Hey, come, let's all hang out together. Let's do this, and it just happens.
That's funny. That's kind of it's a similar story to mine too, because like when David Bingham, like I'd watch his channel, he'd interview a lot of the people. I would reach out to him like, hey, I saw your interview on the David Bingham channel. A lot of what you're saying resonate with me. How would you like to get on a call with me and we'll do an interview? But just by doing that, you know how many people I've met? I have so many friends all over the world. And even from there, like you said, projects arise. Like I'm writing books with people. I'm doing like Zoom call things with people. I'm doing programs with people. I'm a guest over here, over there. And it's so wonderful. Like it's like this whole community. It's like that. It's like my family. It's like I have this big
Oh,
extended family that like, wow. And it just keeps like showing up in my consciousness. And I can literally get goosebumps just thinking about it. It's so pleasurable.
isn't that lovely? It's just what it makes our life becomes this, because we've got these friends around the planet, and
Yeah.
it's just it becomes it just becomes a rich,
Yeah, like I'm going to
richer life.
Amsterdam. I'm going to Amsterdam. One of the girls that was on Dave Big Shot had interviewed her, and she self-realized she lived. Oh, I live in Amsterdam. I'll meet you and Julie over there. I'll show you around. But like it's all this like, and then Julie's like, oh, I'll go on the cruise. Go, you meet my husband. We'll go on the cruise together. I'll bring your wife. Like it's like, I'm meeting all these people like, and we're just having fun. And I don't know. It's just so I don't know adventurous or fulfilling. Like I don't know, like this whole other world out there.
Gosh, I need
I
to
know
go
it's
on one of
beautiful.
those cruises because I am very single right now, and I am just
Well, you can still let me
enjoying
check.
that.
You can still book a flight to Amsterdam. I'll tell you where I'm staying at the Marriott there, and then we'll get on the cruise ship, and I'll introduce you to a whole nother world of people.
Oh my.
There'll be a lot of friends on that cruise too,
Um,
like I'll know, I'll see. But yeah, we definitely should do some. We should do some stuff together. I feel your energy. Definitely resonate.
because it's yes, yes, yes.
I feel that with you. Yeah.
So good intuition here, right? And I
Yeah.
like, who is this Rob? I gotta write this guy.
Your laugh reminds you of like Hale Dwoskin. You ever hear of Hale Dwoskin?
I adore Hale's
You
work.
you
Yes,
see
and his
you guys
channel.
seem like that similar, like he's always like that laughing and like he's got like that lighthearted energy too. Like I like that. Yeah, you remind me a lot like him.
Gosh, I have you been on his show? Have you been on his show yet?
No, I haven't been on his yet. No. He looked like he'd be a fun one to do.
I'm
Hell,
gonna
yeah.
send. I'm gonna send this to him
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
and say, hey, you need to invite us. Invite both of us together.
That would be funny. That the Robin Sid show. The Robin show Sid interview. That's funny. Yeah. I don't know if we get anything done. We'd be
It's
dancing and
really
laughing on the whole call. Or we could just start with the 30 seconds. Everyone, you already self-realize it's just what's here, right now. It's just this. Okay, now let's have some fun. Let's talk. Oh my goodness.
Gosh, wow, yeah.
Anything else coming through with you? You want to wrap up with anything coming through that you're feeling that you want to express?
Mm. May I give an invitation to your
Yes,
friends here?
please.
Mm. So just in how it's expressing through me, my website is effortlessifs.com, and offer 3 or 4 free Zoom groups a week. And the intention of the Zoom group is a celebration, just what Rob and I are doing. The celebration is a celebration of you, and ideally, you and everything that arises in you feels like it's your birthday party. That's the intention, or just what Rob does is sees as perfection. That's the intention as community.
Beautiful.
And then I've I've started something new because of the amount of division that I'm experiencing in the United States these days. I have created a new website, them2us.com, and I've been starting to speak in churches and back in schools and lead workshops on. It's kind of a cultural conflict resolution. It's a sense of seeing the beauty in us. We're returning to our humanity, especially in the different sides of the political spectrum. We have there. It's all innocent.
Mm,
It's just different strategies to find peace, safety, okayness, connection, and to help us return to that. And it's something I really care about, that I've started to do as well. And so just anybody interested in conflict resolution, I'm starting to offer trainings in those. Come visit me. And then lastly, just the gift, the gift of our friend Rob again, the gift of the mirroring, the gift of what he's seeing. It's such a treat. And I just want to say, what fun. Thank you for letting me be here and to meet your community and to hang out with you. And I really look forward to how this play continues.
I love that. You're a beautiful being. I'm so glad you came into my space of consciousness. I've really enjoyed having you and meeting you, and I'm looking forward to what's next. And I feel like there's something here. There's resonance here with you, and I don't know. I feel like we're going to be good friends, and we're always been or something. I don't know. Like I feel something with you, like, and I'd love to be involved with and support whatever you're doing. I feel your energy and feeling drawn to you and what your things that you're up to. So I'd love to be part of it. So I'm so glad I met you.
Yeah. Woohoo.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, thanks again, Sid, for coming on, and much love to you.
Oh, see you soon.
Yes,
Thanks.
definitely. We'll continue the party. That's great.